I'm just trying to make it all make sense.
More
You
No
podcast.
So today I want to go over an activity that I recently saw Ashton Kutcher complete out of inspiration from Ray Dalio's book Principles. What Ashton did was make up 42 life principles for his 42nd birthday, and the basis of the activity surrounds creating a list of life principles for every year that you're born, and then gradually year by year make a new list. As you get older, you'll have more principles to live by. And these principles should be well-rounded and balanced, surrounding various things in your life. They should surround your friends and family, your personal pursuits, your personal health, and much more. So I now want to go through Ashton's list of life principles for you to get an idea of what you should include in your own list. And you shouldn't just copy Ashton's list, but it should give you inspiration for creating a well-balanced list of life principles to live by. So his first life principle is kindness is more important than you think. Then his second principle is there's no substitute for hard work. Then his third principle is the only substitute for working smart is working smarter. Then his fourth principle is the sexiest thing in the world is being really smart. After that, his fifth principle is not everyone's going to like you, and that's okay. From there, his sixth principle is you are always better off striving to be the best you rather than striving to be like someone else. Then the seventh principle is find friends who are loyal and generous. Then the eighth is be a loyal and generous friend. Then the next principle is the path to receiving has a big arrow that says give this way. After that, the 10th principle is breaking up hurts every time. Then the 11th is hire slow and fire fast. Next, the 12th principle is invest in people and hire people that you want to work for. Then the 13th principle is your authentic self is a perfect reflection of your experience. Then the 14th principle is have fun with children but never make fun. Next, the 15th principle is eat home-cooked meals whenever possible. Next, work out regularly and make the most of the time spent doing so. Then his 17th principle is to laugh at yourself. The next principle is to find every opportunity you can to laugh with others. Then the 19th principle is dance whenever given the floor and the right song. After that, his 20th principle is you can't buy health and time slowly takes it away from you, so savor it like it's the only thing you got. His next principle is to reinvent your relationship with your parents once you have become an adult. From there, his next principle is that life is who you travel with. Then his next life principle is people do change, it's just a slow process. Then his next life principle is think in decades, not years. Then his 25th life principle is to forgive people because it's easier than holding grudges. His next life principle is to brush your teeth. After that, the next principle is to do things that scare you and translate that fear into excitement. After that, the next principle is to work toward leveling the playing field for others. Next, his 29th life principle is ideas are cheap, execution is valuable. Then the 30th principle is to drink more water than you want. Then his 31st life principle is there's only one earth, treat it right. His 32nd life principle is then giving becomes generous when it is uncomfortable. Then his 33rd is to read good books. His 34th life principle is to then avoid comparing your life to others. Then his next life principle is if your doctor isn't coaching you when you are healthy, find a new doctor. His 36th life principle is to find hobbies and practice them. Then the 37th is getting married isn't a goal, but being married is. From there, the 38th is being vulnerable opens relationships to possibility. Then his 39th is if you can't measure it, you can't improve it. His 40th is to then make database decisions. His 41st is that maybes are usually procrastinated no's. And finally, Ashton's 42nd life principle is don't neglect the value of sleep. Taking time to create a list of life principles provides immense value, and by compiling a list of life principles that equals the amount of years that you live, you'll gradually add more life principles to apply in your life. These life principles should be tailored to your true authentic self and moving your life forward day by day. By establishing life principles like this and gradually adding more to the list, you'll no doubt craft a life of significance.
I'm just trying to make it all make sense.
More
You
No
podcast.